Hello and welcome to Through Our Eyes, the podcast by and for blind and partially sighted students, brought to you by Student Voices at Thomas Pocklington Trust. I'm Kate, your host, and each month we'll be sharing real experiences, advice and tips to help you navigate your journey to higher education. From choosing the right university course to applications, finance and DSA, we'll also dive into the exciting side of student life, making new friends, moving into halls, joining societies and exploring the nightlife. Whatever stage you're at, you're not alone. We're here to support you every step of the way. On today's episode, we have the wonderful Aleks, Faith and Khadija, who are going to discuss their experiences when it comes to choosing a university and picking a course.
Hey, it's Aleks here. Hope you're all right.
Hi, it's Faye. Hey, it's Khadija.
Selecting your ideal uni course can seem like a challenge, especially when there are over 164 UK universities which offer roughly 50k courses. 23.7% of students based on National Student Survey mentioned that they were dissatisfied with their course, while another statistic shows that 40% regret their uni selection.
The odds seem to be against us blind kids. Don't go scaring us all off. I haven't had the most straightforward or simple path when it comes to my education. Back in Pakistan, I was hopping from school to school. We moved a lot, and I wasn't able to complete my education.
I've moved from school to college to university, which is the traditional path for education, but that doesn't mean my education has been traditional. I'm blind, I have other physical disabilities, which means I have had multiple barriers to overcome surrounding that.
My educational journey was also not straightforward. My vision decreased when I was at the senior year in my high school, so I had to drop out, move to the UK where I could redo 2 last years of the college. Then I was able to go to the university.
Although I'm doing my GCSEs right now, I have hopes to completing my A-levels, going to university, and even one day pursuing further education. I hope to one day practice law and become a lawyer. I've always been kind of an outspoken person, so I decided why not? I use my voice for those who aren't able to speak up for themselves. Growing up, I never had trouble speaking up for myself or for others, and I could articulate my thoughts and opinions quite well, and it felt good to do so. A compliment I would get often was that I would make a great lawyer, and whether people said that as a joke or not, I've held on to that, and it's something I'm good at, and I can see myself doing that in the future. It simply felt right.
On the bright side, you've got loads of time to pick the right uni and the right course, so you're in the perfect position right now.
Okay. Back home, it was all about going to the most prestigious university. Moving to the UK has shifted that mindset. There is so much more to choosing a university than its ranking. I want to hear about your guys' experiences. What were some things that drew you to your universities?
The main thing for me was that I wanted to stay at home. The university I currently attend is in my home city, so I knew I wanted to stay at home because I needed to save money. I didn't want to move out to accommodation, as lovely as that would have been. So I wanted to live at home. And it was perfect because the course that I do at the university now is amazing. It's just what I wanted.
I always know what course I want to do, but the volume of options available was overwhelming. What I did is I read out different course descriptions from different universities, noted down the ones that I really enjoyed. Still, I had concerns whether those universities that I was more interested about were VI friendly. What I did is I approached TPT's Student Service Advice Line, #NotSponsored, and asked about how I exactly can ensure my uni selections are accessible, as it was one of the key priorities for me. Through those advice, I discovered that you can contact disability services of each university. I followed their guidelines on what to look for, what questions to ask, and how exactly to get in contact with them. Through those actions, I got a great idea of how exactly each university responds to accessibility needs and what to expect in terms of reasonable adjustments.
Okay, that makes sense. So the reasons you guys picked your universities were very personal to you. Would you guys say you're happy with the choices you made?
Absolutely, yes. I love my university. Yes, it has its faults. Every university does. Every university has its flaws. But the university I attend right now, the University of Derby, is amazing. They've really helped me flourish and they've helped me with my accessibility needs. They meet my accessibility needs, and the course, as I've said previously, is absolutely amazing.
I really love the way my university, which was Middlesex, treated accessibility. When I got in contact with them, I straight away knew that I will be treated like a king, and they were really helpful from the day one, and they actually were sorting out some issues related to DSA and other stuff that were not really their responsibilities. So yes, I'm really satisfied with the selected choice.
Well, I'm glad you guys are happy. The success and satisfaction of one's university career depends greatly on the university they pick. Would you guys say it was the same for picking a course?
Absolutely, yes. A course is one of the main parts of a university career. So obviously there are other opportunities. There are other parts of university, student life, student union, socialisation, friends, etc. But the course is one of the main parts. So the course you choose depends on what you want to do. If you don't pick the right course for you, I feel like perhaps you might not have as good of a university career as you may if you really focus on what course is right for you.
Of course, the course sits at the heart of the uni experience. Even the best university, when you're on the wrong course, would seem like a tragedy for you. Each subject can be delivered differently, so it's also very important to see the course structure and layout and description before choosing the right one.
Okay, that makes sense. What courses did you guys go for, and what decisions and choices led you to it?
I'm currently doing Counselling and Psychotherapy, Humanistic Approaches, BSc Honours at the University of Derby. So originally I wanted to work in human resources, HR, and I was fully prepared to do a university degree in that and go into that field. However, I was in a psychology class during my second year A-levels, and we were talking about a psychological theory called the environment of evolutionary adaptation. And I knew what that was because I'd done it last year. I'd done it in my first year. So I put my hand up and I decided to share with the class, and I was right, and I felt very proud of myself. So when I got home that evening, I thought about it and I had this epiphany. I want to do that. I don't want to do HR. I want to do something in the psychology field. So I did lots of research and I found the career path of a counsellor. So I thought, okay, this sounds interesting. Then I went searching for university courses in psychology, but I applied for psychology at the University of Derby. Fine. But then when I went to go and see the applicant day, which is basically an open day, but for applicants, you really get a taster of what your course specifically is going to be like. I ended up in the wrong place. I ended up in counselling and psychotherapy, thinking that I'd applied for that instead. Obviously, I hadn't. So I ended up in counselling and psychotherapy, enjoyed the applicant day so much that I really, really wanted to do it. Went to go and apply for student finance because you have to put your course in when you apply for student finance, and figured out that I'd applied for psychology. So I had to reapply and do a whole other interview in order to get onto the course that I wanted to do, the counselling and psychotherapy that I'm doing now. And luckily, I was granted a place on that course and I started the following September.
I've just finished my marketing course. I really loved it because it's a mixture of creativity, strategy, and a little bit of psychology. I always loved marketing and the way it shifts people's perception on certain items. It's something I was always interested about since I was 1 year old, discovering magic of advertisements on MTV while bopping to Madonna. However, I never realized that it was a worth career path. But when I accidentally landed on a marketing course description, I straight away understand that it's something that I've always been passionate about. It sparked my interest and I want to research more on that. This is how I decided.
All right, those are some roller coasters of a self-discovery. Alex, didn't you just graduate? Would you say you made the right choice?
Yes, that's true, and I truly believe I made a right decision. I knew that it's going to be very exciting, and from the day one, I was already blown away, and it definitely seemed like everything that was written about. So I did not felt led on and misled.
And Faith, aren't you starting your second year at university soon? What do you think? You think you made the right call?
As of right now, as I've just about to start my second year, absolutely yes. I enjoy the course. It's very different to what I expected it to be. There's a lot more to it than what I expected, but I think it will all come in useful when I eventually become a qualified counsellor and start my career.
It's great that your courses give you a clear, path to what you want to do in the future. When I was younger, I wanted to be an artist. Then it was a geologist, and then it was a game developer, and now it's a lawyer. Point being, as humans, we change our minds constantly. What we set out to do isn't necessarily what we're meant to do. So what happens when students don't know what they're supposed to do? What do you do then?
Yes, that's definitely true. When I was 5 years old, I also wanted to be a pet vet before realizing that me and biology does not mix. Still, there are lots of good resources that can help you to figure out what do you want to do in your life. Firstly, there are quite lots of good quizzes that you can take, and I'm not talking about BuzzFeed quizzes that asks to select a donut and they will tell you your future life and future career. There are quizzes that are professionally made. For instance, Bright Network has a really great career quiz that you can take. It asks about your communication style, work approach, and based on that, you get insights that are very tailored to you and very detailed and something to think about. And other resources are career fairs and career services at colleges and similar education institutions. Finally, you can always ask people in that industry. There are quite a few insights days at different companies that you can pay a visit to and understand exactly how it goes.
In addition to resources that Alex has just mentioned, it's important to reflect. Ask yourself questions. Some questions you could ask yourself are, what do you want to do for a job? For me, personally, I wanted to become a counsellor. So I wanted to do a course in counselling. I wanted to do a university course in counselling. Also, if you've chosen a university, what university do you want to go to? What courses do they offer? If you're set in a university, you need to pick a course that a university offers. What do they offer? Go and have a look. What kind of life do you want to live? What experiences matter to you? E.g. people, culture, location, accommodation. Do you want to stay at home? Do you want to move out? Which universities are most accessible to you? Which meet your accessibility needs the best? What's your financial situation? Are you taking out a student loan? Are you paying for it directly? What is your financial situation like at home? Because obviously the maintenance loan won't cover everything. Are you required at home? For example, are you a carer? In that case, you might need to stay at home.
Those are some really good resources and questions I could refer to when I finally go to a university. Last question from me. As BPS students, there are some challenges sighted students definitely don't experience. So how did you guys go about ensuring that the universities and courses you selected met your specific accessibility needs?
The big one for me is DSA, Disabled Students Allowance. You apply for that after you've applied for your tuition loan and your maintenance loan from Student Finance. DSA can help with a variety of things, including technology, non-medical help, specialist support. For example, sight guiding is one that I have. And they make a massive difference to your university career. Without DSA, my university would not be half as accessible as it is. My university is great, but another thing you really should do is be transparent with your university. Tell them exactly what you need. Make sure you have as many meetings with the relevant people as you can. Tell them if they're not doing something right that you need, because if they do change that, you will be on the better foot. Tell them if they're doing something amazing, because they can improve that and put more finances and more focus on that they're doing amazing, that they're doing really well on. So the big two for me, DSA and talk to your university. Don't be shy, be transparent, be big, be bold.
Accessibility is such a sensitive topic. And in fact, I don't want to scare you, but only 36% of disabled students were satisfied with the support that they received from their university. Still, I really believe it's very important to be proactive and contact your university directly about your concerns. Have a chat with them, maybe make a meeting with them. For instance, in my case, my support worker from the college also joined one of the meetings, and that support worker also shared some of my support plans from my college. So my transition from FE college to university was very smooth and had similar aspects to look for. So once again, don't be afraid to talk with your university. Thomas Pocklington Trust are really great with supporting you with that, so also don't be afraid to give them a call.
What I'm hearing from all of this is that there's no objective right answer. Everything depends on one's personal goals, dreams, and circumstances. If we were to boil it down for the aspiring students, what would be our key takeaways?
So the first takeaway, do the research. Ask questions, search for information.
Second key takeaway, accessibility. Explore the university's accessibility services, look online for resources.
And third and final takeaway is self-reflection. Ask yourself questions, try to think about your choices and your values. Don't be peer pressured. Ask questions to yourself and others.
Thanks, guys, for another brilliant episode. Thank you for listening to Through Our Eyes, created by VI students for VI students. I'm Kate, and it's been great sharing this episode with you. Don't forget to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Just search for Thomas Pocklington Trust to stay up to date with new episodes, resources, as well as exciting upcoming events and opportunities for you to get involved in. If you'd like more tailored guidance, you can reach out to Thomas Pocklington Trust's Education, Information, Advice and Guidance Service for one-to-one tailored support for anything to do with your education or studies. You can go to our website and fill in a short web form. You can contact us at educationadvice@pocklington.org.uk, or you can call us on 0203 757 8040. We're available to take your calls Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. However, if you call us outside of those times, please just leave a message and we will get back to you. Until next time, good luck on your journey, and remember, your student voice matters.